So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Berlaymont, the building of the headquarters of the European Commission. We are very happy to host you today for this EU-Japan Defense Industry Dialogue. My name is Guillaume Delabrosse from DG Defis. I will be the moderator of this Defense Industry Dialogue. I'd like to welcome first Minister Ino from Trade and Industry, State Minister of Economy. I'd like to welcome Commissioner Kubilius, and we will start now immediately. So we will start with the opening remarks by Mr. Bach, who is representing the ASD board. He is first VP CEO for PGZ, and that will be followed by opening remarks by Mr. Nakamura, Chairman of SJAC, CEO of Subaru. Please, Mr. Bach.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to welcome you today to the European Commission here in the Berlaymont, in the Schuman Room, for this first EU-Japan Defense Industry Dialogue. Allow me at first to acknowledge our distinguished guests. It is an honor to welcome Minister Ino and the members of the Japanese delegation from the government and industry. Your presence here today reflects Japan's own strong commitment to deepening cooperation with Europe in a field of defense industry and to building a more structured relationship between our industrial communities. We attach great importance to Japan's role as a trusted, capable and like-minded partner whose technological strength, industrial sophistication and strategic engagement make this dialogue both timely and meaningful. Commissioner Kubilius, thank you very much for your presence and your leadership in advancing the European defense industrial agenda and a moment of growing strategic importance for Europe. I would also like to warmly greet the representatives of the European Commission joining us today. I would also like to extend a special greeting for the representatives of the SJAC and the ASD, in particular, the Chairman, Mr. Tomomi Nakamura, and the President, Takumi Fujimo. Before going further, let me also express our sincere regret that Mr. Mikael Johansson, President and the Chairman of ASD Board, is unable to join us today. I am therefore honored to speak on his behalf and in representation of the European defense and aerospace industry. The fact that we are gathered today for the first EU-Japan Defense Industry Dialogue is significant in itself. It reflects the steady strengthening of the EU-Japan relationship in recent years. What has already become a close and trusted political partnership is now extending more clearly into industrial domain. This is both natural and necessary. It is natural because the political relationship between the European Union and Japan is built on shared values, common strategic concerns, and a mutual commitment to international stability. And it is necessary because the security environment around us has become more demanding, more contested, and more unpredictable. We are living in a period of increasing geopolitical tensions, strategic competition, and growing pressure on our security and defense systems. In this context, the link between Euro-Atlantic and the Indo-Pacific security is no longer an abstract proposition. It's a practical reality. This is why trusted partners matter. And this is also why industry matters. If political alignment provides the direction, industry provides much of the substance. Security and defense today depend not only on policy choices and military capabilities, but also on industrial capacity, technological innovation, resilient supply chains, and the ability to deliver at scale and at speed. Industry is therefore not a secondary dimension of the security and defense policy. It is an essential pillar of it. The path from political understanding to practical cooperation must increasingly run through industrial cooperation. In that context, the ASD SJAC letter of intent represents a welcome step in that direction. It would send an important message to intend our deepened cooperation between industries and create a platform for more structured engagement. It would be not an end itself, but rather a practical foundation on which stronger and more regular cooperation can be built over time. Today's focus on defense supply chain is especially relevant. They are central to defense preparedness, industrial resilience, and the strategic credibility. From the perspective of European industry, there is a strong potential in closer cooperation with Japan. Both sides bring substantial industrial and technological strengths. Both sides have highly capable companies, advanced manufacturing bases, and world-class expertise. European industry is ready to engage with Japanese partners and has a real interest in deeper, balanced, and mutually beneficial cooperation. At the same time, for such cooperation to grow in a meaningful and sustainable way, European industry needs the right conditions. It needs predictability. It needs a level playing field. It needs supportive policy frameworks, and it needs sustained and aggregated demand that gives industry the confidence to invest, expand production, and pursue long-term partnership. Our expectations for this dialogue should therefore be practical and business-oriented. We should use this opportunity to exchange views frankly, identify concrete areas for cooperation, and begin building lasting links for industry, from industry to industry. If we can do that, the dialogue will not simply mark a first meeting. It will mark the beginning of more structured and substantive partnership. And with that, let me conclude by thanking you once again for your presence and engagement. And now it's my great pleasure to hand over to my co-speaker, Chairman Tomomi Nakamura. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tomomi Nakamura, Chairman of the Society of Japanese Aerospace Companies. Following our meeting at the Paris Air Show last June, we are pleased that this Japan-EU defense industry dialogue has been realized. This achievement reflects the shared understanding, sustained efforts, and strong enthusiasm demonstrated by European Union, Government of Japan, and all stakeholders involved, to whom we would like to express our sincere appreciation. We welcome the establishment of a platform for dialogue and exchange between the private sector of Japan and Europe. It is truly a pleasure to be with you today at the headquarters of the European Union. The EU stands as an institution with impressive history and continuing commitment to progress, both within its member states and across the global community. As part of the defense industry, the aviation sector continues to face supply chain challenges, reinforcing the renewed importance of international collaboration. To address this challenge, I believe that it is important to get to know each other. Today marks a significant and memorable occasion as we commence the inaugural Japan-EU Defense Industry Dialogue meeting. We are honored to receive presentations from representatives of both the public sector and leading companies from Japan and European Union. And we hope that today's discussion will contribute to a deeper mutual understanding. Finally, I look forward to further deepening our relationship with our European counterparts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to turn to Commissioner Kubilius and to Minister Ino for welcoming messages that will be followed by a video message by Minister Miyazaki, State Minister of Defense. Please, Commissioner.
Well, good morning to everybody and welcome. Thank you, Mr. Tomomi Nakamura and Mr. Arkadiusz. Thank you for those opening words on behalf of Japanese and European Union industry. And welcome Minister Toshiro Ino, Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry. Minister, it's very good that you are here. Because when we talk about partnership, that's not only a partnership between Japan and the European Union, but also partnership between governments and industries. We have nearly 60 guests from Japan here today, from more than 30 companies, and 20 companies from Europe, and very senior officials from Europe and Japan. I wish all of you a very warm welcome. Also, on a personal level, I am now Defense and Space Commissioner, but before that I was twice Prime Minister of Lithuania, one of the Baltic countries. And in Lithuania we have very warm feelings towards Japan, since Japan was one of the first countries to recognize the regained Lithuanian independence on 6th of September 1991. Then we had also very big plans with Hitachi company. So and today it's an honor for me to welcome you, because Japan is a bastion of democracy, human rights and rule of law. Because Japan is a beacon of stability in a dangerous world. So Japan is a true, like-minded partner for the European Union. And more than a partner, I would say a friend. This meeting of defense industries today builds on the security and defense partnership between Japan and the European Union signed 2 years ago. Because there can be no security or defense without industry. And our dialogue today builds on the European Union-Japan Competitiveness Alliance, because there is no competitiveness without a strong defense industry. So we are here at a historic meeting. This is our first ever full-fledged EU-Japan defense industry dialogue. And this shows how close the European Union and Japan are. Even so, we are on other sides of the world. In Japan, you also know what it's like to live next to a big and assertive neighbor. You need to be strong to deter a possible conflict. We know that also. Economic security is a major issue for you, like it is also for us. Recently, we learned our lessons. The European Union needs to work more closely with like-minded partners to diversify and de-risk its supply chains for defense goods and for dual-use goods. The message by industries in this regard is also clear. They want us, the European Union and Japan, to support them in this regard. And security of supply is a major priority for me as Commissioner. This year in the European Union we set up a new security of supply board to monitor supply chains in defense industry, so we can prevent security of supply crisis in time. And so our defense industry can produce and scale and speed. But we need to do much more. That is why we have put security of supply on the top of our agenda today. Today's defense industrial dialogue is a key milestone in this regard. The European Union can learn a lot from Japan about economic security. You have a lot of experience in this area. And we can also improve diversity of supply chains by working and trading together. That's another reason why today we bring European and Japanese industries together. There are already impressive shared defense projects for very big ticket items, like Japanese-Italian United Kingdom cooperation on a fighter jet. We need to work still more closely together. So I ask all of you, make the most of this day to meet businesses from Japan and the European Union. Use this day to lay the foundation for strong future partnerships and business ventures. And I hope one day, when you sign a big contract, you can say it all started as a dialogue in the Berlaymont, right here. And I ask you to speak out, share your concerns and ideas. Tell us what the obstacles are, and you can count on my support. Because it's my job to make sure we have a strong and flourishing defense industry built on the partnerships and built for our competitiveness, defense, and deterrence. I look forward to hearing from all of you here today.
Commissioner, thank you so much. Minister Ino, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning. I'm Toshiro Ino. I want to speak in Japanese. Sorry.
Microphone. Consecutive interpretation.
クビリウス欧州委員、ペソネン防衛産業宇宙総局局長、ボンク ASD 取締役代理中村 S ジャック会長、ご来場の皆様、経済産業副大臣の猪戸翔です。第1回、EU 防衛産業対話の開催にあたりご挨拶をさせていただきます。
Commissioner Kubilius, Director General Pesonen, DG DEFIS, Mr. Bonk, alternate to the ASD Board, Commissioner Nakamura of SJAC, and dear participants, I am Ino Toshiro, the Metis State Minister, who would like to greet you at the very outset. It's an honor for me to greet you all.
開催に向けご尽力していただきました SJAC および ASD の皆様、欧州委員の皆様、その他関係者の皆様に、また参加いただいた日曜の企業の皆様に深く感謝申し上げます。
So I thank members of the European Commission, members of the SJAC and ASD, and others, people from both of the government and the private sector. I thank you all for arranging this meeting today.
さて、ウクライナ戦争は長期化しており、この戦争はドローンなどを活用した新しい戦い方や、地政学的要因によるグローバルなサプライチェーンの脆弱性、またそれに伴う生産設備への増強などが課題として顕在化されました。
So because of the Ukraine situation getting more serious and the massive use of the drones and everything, and also the new fighting mode has appeared in the world, so these are the areas where we need to work more. And it has become prominent that vulnerability of a global supply chain due to the geopolitical factor has become much more conspicuous, and we need to work harder in these areas.
このため我が国は生産設備増強のため防衛費の対 GDP 比 2% 水準を昨年中に目標を前倒し達成しました。
And with regard to bringing up to the 2% of GDP level for defense expenditure of Japan, we were able to achieve that last fiscal year earlier than expected.
また今後の成長戦略の策定を見据え、防衛デュアルユースサプライチェーンにおける同志国連携の重要性を含め、防衛産業の基盤強化に向け、現在、経済産業省と防衛省において議論を深めております。
And also, in light of formulating growth strategy, this area we are working together with the Minister of Defense to deepen the discussion to strengthen the defense industry foundation, inclusive of the partnership with like-minded countries and the defense and dual-use supply chain.
昨年、フォンデアライエン欧州委員会委員長、またコスタ欧州理事会議長と石破総理との日 EU 首脳協議において、防衛産業基盤の強化は双方にとって共通の優先事項であることを確認し、本対話の立ち上げに至りました。
Last year, at the occasion of Japan-EU summit meeting held among President von der Leyen of European Commission, President Costa of European Council, the Prime Minister Ishiba, views concurred on strengthening of defense industry foundation being the common priority for both of us, and agreed to launch this particular DID.
本日は日本から30社以上もの企業が参加をしております。
Today, more than 30 companies from Japan is attending this meeting.
日 EU の産業界が主催するこの対話が日欧防衛産業間をつなぐ新たなプラットフォームとなり、具体的なビジネスや協力関係へと決意することを強く期待しております。
I really hope that this is going to make into a platform between Japan and EU, particularly amongst the private sector, so that a concrete project and the cooperation item would grow out of this dialogue. That is what I hope for very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Now we will have a special video message by Minister Miyazaki.
防衛副大臣の宮崎と申します。本日は防衛省を代表して日 EU 防衛産業対話においてご挨拶の機会いただき大変光栄に思います。EU は我が国にとって自由、民主主義、法の支配といった基本的価値原則を共有する重要なパートナーであります。2024年11月には日 EU 安全保障防衛パートナーシップを公表し、安全保障防衛に関する協力及び対話のさらなる発展強化にも努めております。世界の情勢に目を向ければ、ロシアによるウクライナ侵略をはじめ、世界の安全保障環境が一段と厳しさを増す中、欧州、大西洋とインド太平洋の安全保障は不可分であるとの認識はより一層共有されてきております。インド太平洋地域においても安全保障環境が複雑化、多様化する中、我が国は同志国と連携を強化し、地域に平和や安定をもたらし、自由で開かれたインド太平洋を実現していきたいと考えております。このためにも防衛力の抜本的協力と強化と防衛費増額に引き続き取り組むことにコミットしており、高市総理は昨年10月の就任直後、日本の国家安全保障戦略の前倒し改定を指示されました。この指示のもと、今年中に改定をいたします。その際、いわば防衛力そのものといえる防衛生産、技術基盤の強化も欠かせません。産業界や政府内でしっかりと連携し、強靭なサプライチェーン、柔軟な生産体制の構築、民生先端技術の取り組みの促進などを進めていく必要があります。また、価値観を共有する欧州のパートナーとの産業協力も不可欠であります。協力を推進することで相互運用性を高めるとともに、相互に防衛産業の基盤を強化できます。その中核となる EU とともに防衛産業協力の機会拡大につなげていきたいと思います。さらに近年の科学技術の急速な進展は防衛分野の在り方を根本的に変えております。世界各国では先端技術の商品化が進み、防衛分野においても民生先端技術を既存技術と組み合わせることにより防衛装備品が生み出され、民生用の技術と防衛用の技術の区別が極めて困難となっています。防衛装備品を構成している技術の大半は、例えば通信、半導体、エネルギーといった民生技術です。したがって民生分野の技術が防衛分野において活用されることで高度に発展し、民生分野におけるさらなる技術力の向上につながる好循環を実現するエコシステムの構築が必要です。こうした観点からスタートアップや中小企業を含む産業界の連携を通じてデュアルユース技術を用いた防衛イノベーションを起こしていくことが不可欠であります。本日は日 EU の政府関係者および企業が一堂に会し、このような防衛産業対話が開催されることを誠に喜ばしく思います。日本と EU とのデュアルユースに関する産業界の協力関係の一層の進化を記念し、私のスピーチとさせていただきます。
Could you please look at me?